guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We have more hot off the press, detailed information coming your direction. What are we talking about on this one? It's the refresh, updated, and something new added to the 2025 GR Corolla. Let's go ahead, let's get right to it and see what the heck is so different about model year 2025. And there it is, right off the bat. The front end of the business, you'll notice a new, updated, changed up, refresh face to the GR Corolla. And this is something that it's not just one of those refreshes to say, hey, this is a new model year. A lot of the changes that they made are specifically to help with the complaints that they had of people tracking and autocrossing their GR Corollas. So what you're gonna find is, besides the more aggressive look, is more functional cooling. So they really opened up everything across the bottom. You could clearly see that bright silver intercooler, but then on both ends of the intercooler, you'll see the new wider openings, especially in the corners of the front fascia, to bring more cool air in. Now, the bottom line of the GR Corolla is not changing. You're still gonna get your 1.3 liter turbocharged inline 3-cylinder engine. Remember, may sound like a small engine, because it is, but it packs big horsepower. 300 horsepower out of 3 cylinders. So if you do the math, carry the one and all that other stuff, you're looking at 100 horsepower per cylinder. Pretty substantial. Now, the other big piece of news, probably the biggest piece of news, even more so than the new look at the front end, is the addition of an automatic transmission to the GR Corolla. Now, this is something many people have asked other brands to do. Honda Civic Type R, manual transmission only, nothing on the horizon for an automatic. Recently, Elantra with the N has a 6-speed manual and an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. Of course, Volkswagen GTI and the Golf R, as of model year 2024, have the availability of both a 6-speed manual and a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, better known in Volkswagen speak, they call it a DSG. But it's a dual clutch transmission, which for model year 2025, it's the people who love manuals that Volkswagen is going to upset, because there's no longer a manual transmission on either the GTI or the Golf R for model year 2025. So here is something that Toyota is being brave with, coming out with an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now let's call it what it is. Many of you are probably curious, hey Joe, is it a dual clutch transmission? No, it is not. And don't be confused by what Toyota is calling this transmission that they're putting into the GR Corolla. They're calling it a direct automatic transmission, or DAT. A DAT is not like a DCT. A DCT, that dual clutch technology, the way it works is that, say you're in 3rd gear, 2nd gear is spinning freely, 4th gear is spinning freely, and then that's what allows that rapid, quick upshift or downshift, as those gears are already spinning, ready to be engaged. This transmission is a traditional torque converter automatic transmission. So it's the older school technology. Torque converter automatic transmissions have been around a lot longer for production cars than dual clutch transmissions. They both have their pluses and minuses, right? I think one of the things that was biggest on Toyota's mind is that if they could make a traditional 8-speed automatic behave a lot like a dual clutch, have a fast upshift and fast downshift, then that cuts down on the complexity of the transmission itself, because a dual clutch transmission is much more complex than a traditional torque converter automatic transmission. And if you're Toyota, you might be saying to yourself, well, do we need to make things more complicated? or should we stick with the tried and true? And they decided to stick with the tried and true. Now, for model year 2025, especially with the, I'm making sure I say it right, direct automatic transmission in the GR Corolla, the DAT, they say that they have worked with the real deal Gazoo Racing, which remember, Gazoo Racing handles Toyota's WRC efforts, their Le Mans efforts, and everything in between. They say that they have tweaked this automatic transmission, this 8-speed automatic, to be lightning quick, whether you're going up the gears or down the gears. Now, another good piece of news is that it comes with its own transmission cooler, which I think is going to be vital, especially for those going to do track days or autocross events, because there were already complaints about the front diff overheating. That's what happened. The front diff would overheat and it would not be available to be engaged. That's what the little screen used to pop up, the error message, and say it's out of order, so to speak. With this transmission, I think it's very important they have a transmission cooler to help combat that. Now, let's talk about some of the other goodies for 2025. I love on the corner there that side functioning of the vent. So the air is going to come in through the front. Some of it is going to interact with all the heat exchangers and the intercooler. The rest of the air is going to aerodynamically come out the edges there. And not only does it look damn good, but it's functional. And like I say, it's going to help those at speed on a track, on your favorite twisty road, to really be able to keep the temps in check. Now, on the interior, you're still going to get your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You have your 8-inch infotainment system. That is not changing, but you'll see in this image, if you look down in the pedal box, there's one less pedal. No clutch. You have an aluminum brake pedal and an aluminum throttle pedal, which look great, but you'll notice in the next image that they still don't do an aluminum dead pedal. I don't know why that's such a big ask, especially on a GR branded vehicle, but nice to see you still have that great steering wheel, nice thick rim steering wheel with the GR badge. In a few moments, you will see the location of where those paddles are if you want to manually shift with that direct automatic transmission, the 8-speed automatic transmission. Paddles on the back of the steering wheel. And we'll talk about that in a second when it pops up on the screen. So, because I got a little bit of a zonk that I want to bring. But there is that angled view I was telling you about. You can see how their dead pedal is just a plastic dead pedal. It's not aluminum like the brake and the throttle pedal. The other big piece of news that I think is great is that, so when it comes to optioning, of course, you're going to have your core, you're going to have your premium, and then your premium plus. Those are your trims. You'll be able to, if you go up to premium plus level, or you could put it in as an option on the premium trim, an extra cooler. So what they're saying is that there will be a sub-radiator cooler which will be added at the factory to help bring those temps down even more. So my advice is, if you're really going to track this thing, go automatically with the Premium Plus, because that's going to give you and that's whether you're driving manual GR Corolla, because that still is available, 6-speed manual, or the 8-speed automatic. Just go Premium Plus. It's one of those things that, penny wise, but pound foolish. The cheap comes out expensive. Do you want to save some money not going that route, and then you wind up blowing something up or having issues down the road, which may cost you more money out of your pocket? Or is it better to just suck it up, buttercup, pay to get that Premium Plus level, and then you got it all? I say go Premium Plus. Now, looking at the top of the steering wheel in this image, there's the zonk. I don't like those paddles. First of all, they're plastic. I can tell by the image that they're plastic. I don't need to get my hands in there and figure out what they are. Second of all, I don't like the location. I feel that they're too inward towards the steering column. I don't know how that's going to work when you're trying to work your magic with your fingers as you're going down your twisty road. If it's cumbersome which if you don't know what cumbersome means, that means hard to maneuver. If it's hard to maneuver, if it's cumbersome to move your fingers and hands on the wheel with the paddles, is that going to be an issue? We'll have to wait and see. I'm surprised they didn't have something that came out a little bit further and maybe was a little bit larger. They almost look like paddles that were on a Toyota Corolla or Toyota Camry automatic transmission. Toyota Camry with the 8-speed automatic. Just saying. But I haven't seen it in person yet, so we'll have to wait and see exactly, are they the same exact paddles? I'm going to say they were probably sitting in a parts bin and they're like, hey, we don't have an 8-speed automatic Camry TRD anymore. Let's put them on the GR Corolla. Let's put them on the GR Corolla. And they were like, yes. And that made all the, of course, accountants very happy. But let's talk about some of the other fun stuff. You're still getting 300 horsepower. Now, they're bumping up the torque. So from 273 pound-feet of torque, you now have 295 pound-feet of torque. May not seem like a big deal, but the extra torque with the tuning of the ECU, which is what they said they did, they tuned up that ECU, all those goodies are going to give you faster acceleration, harder pull off the corners. Because remember, horsepower is great. You get to go to Cars and Coffee and say, I have all this horsepower, but it's torque that gets you off the line. It's torque that gets you off a corner. When you are in a corner, you're like 25 miles an hour and you're like hitting your apex. And when you go back on throttle, it's the torque that launches you down that back straightaway. So nice to see that they did those things. Of course, when you go premium top level trim, you're still getting the big bulge hood with the functional heat extractors. You do get a HUD, which is nice. Remember, head-up display. The suede seats with the GR embroidery, that's easily worth an extra 5 horsepower. And then you're still getting those 18-inch wheels that are wrapped with Michelin Pilot 4 tires on them. I don't know why they don't do 4S. Take it up another notch. Some brands are doing 5. So, because there's a new 5, Pilot Sport 5 and 5S tire. So, it would have been nice to have the 4S. So, I am going to have to zonk that. But you got to give it to Toyota. They did what the customers wanted. You guys, many of you who don't know how to drive a manual or don't want to drive a manual have asked for an automatic transmission, and they have done it for you. Now the big question is the juice, as we say, is the juice worth the squeeze? Will it perform the way you want it to perform? And obviously, the one big marker that everybody judges an automatic transmission to is the PDK from Porsche, which, let's be honest, it's probably not going to be that good, but it may be close. But we'll be getting behind the wheel soon. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for an automatic GR Corolla? Are you going to drop your hard-earned money and pick one up? Let me know down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rise family. Of course, when you get up, Lori Raiti, work in this room like the champion that she is. Thank you, Lori, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next one.